Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is What If Brienne and Podrick Got Arya Stark in Season 4 or in 301 AC. Before we begin, I need to provide a bit of background, but please like, share, and subscribe. Following the Red Wedding, Jaime thought his last chance at getting some honor was successfully fulfilling his oath to Catelyn Stark, where he'd return his daughters to her, and he decided instead to return to Riverrun because Catelyn was dead. And Jaime sent Podrick and Brienne to find Arya Stark and return her back to King's Landing. At the end of the season, Brienne and Podrick ended up finding Arya with the Hound. However, Arya managed to escape during the duel between the Hound and Brienne of Tarth. In this scenario, Podrick and Brienne get Arya Stark after the duel, and they head their way to Riverrun. But before they even get to Riverrun, Brienne and Podrick meet Peter Baelish and Sansa Stark at the end of the crossroads. Brienne will still offer her protection, but I think there's a good chance that Littlefinger will take Arya while no one's looking, kind of like how in the books the Hound took Arya from the Brotherhood. This leads into Season 5. Littlefinger gets a hold of Arya, and we get to see Arya and Sansa reunite, but I think Littlefinger will marry Arya to Ramsay instead of Sansa because Littlefinger doesn't want to ruin his relationship with her. Given Arya's ability to escape and her escape from King's Landing in the past, despite heavy guard, I think there is a possibility she escapes by the end of the season. I will say by at least the episode 7 of Season 5 that Arya will have escaped the Boltons with the help of Brienne and Podrick. She is on her way to Castle Black to see Jon, but she won't get there as she will run to the camp of Stannis Baratheon. This has a huge knock-on effect, as with Stannis having a Stark, he'll get the support of the Northern Lords minus Karstark. In the season finale, Stannis takes Winterfell from the Boltons to end Season 5. Moving on to Season 6, after Stannis learns of Jon Snow's death, I still think there's a good chance that Stannis wants him resurrected, so Jon is back alive and free from his Night's Watch vows. Now the whole Wildling army is with Jon Snow, and Jon will declare for Stannis, so Stannis is about 6,000 troops. We also get to see Rickon and Jon and Arya reunite, which is pretty cool. Since the Umbers will have Rickon hand him over to Stannis. More on that later. Littlefinger also needs to have Stannis die so Sansa and Vale can come in power in the north, giving Littlefinger more men to his cause to become king. I think there's a huge chance that Littlefinger will promise someone a lordship or something to cause a mutiny in Stannis' camp, killing him, and then he will destroy them with the Vale army and present the corpses of the mutineers to the Starks in Winterfell. If you're wondering about Melisandre and Davos, I think Melisandre will still escape like how she escaped Stannis' camp in the show, and I think Davos might be left with the Starks in Winterfell to advise Arya and Rickon. And Sansa will, moving back to the real time, Sansa will get to reunite with her family, and at the end of the season, the Stark succession crisis is resolved with Jon still becoming king in the north, and Rickon will be Lord of Winterfell. Now, moving on to Season 7, it will mostly be the same with Jon going off to Daenerys, them meeting, etc., except Rickon Stark has promised to Lyanna Mormont for her service to the Starks. I could see this happen, consolidate power in the north, and I don't think there are any Southerners and Northerners want to associate themselves with, so marrying the Stark heir and the Lord of Winterfell to Lyanna makes sense. This fails, though. In Season 8, Lyanna Mormont dies, and Arya isn't a faceless person there, so there's a good chance that Bran ends up dying again. I'm sorry, Bran fans. I don't know why in almost every single What If I end up killing Bran, but I'm sorry. Anyway, someone will end up killing the Night King and the rest of the season continues as follows, but since Bran is dead, Bran won't be king. A new king is needed after the death of Daenerys, and it can't be Jon because he is in prison. I think there's a good chance that Gendry becomes the next king, as he would have the best claim to the throne since he's King Robert's bastard and Robert's last surviving son, and the last surviving Baratheon. And all the Targaryens are dead/prisoner. Gendry he will still keep Tyrion as his hand, but Jon still does get exiled. Moving back north, Sansa does get the North free still, and she becomes Queen of the North. But Rickon is still Lord of Winterfell, and Sansa's first act as queen would be to find a wife for Rickon Stark to carry on the Stark name. I think the most likely candidate is Sansa's childhood friend from the books and made a brief cameo in the show, being Jane Poole. I said this in my How to Fix Game of Thrones video, and I'm keeping it because I think this is a cool nod to the books. And I know that was short, but that is it for What If Brienne and Podrick got Arya Stark. So if you want to see more like this, at 100 subs, I'll do a 1 hour video in the FNAF Timeline. At 500 likes, I'll do a video of Greyjoy's Rebellion. And at 50k views, I'll do a video on the Life of Ned Stark. So the next What If will be coming later this week. It is What If Renly Baratheon lived. But until next time, bye!